NBA basketball totals for Tuesday, November 29th. We got 3 games on the card today. We're just going to dive right in. Let me pull up some numbers here real quick. Yesterday we were 1-1 with a push, kind of an unlucky push, and I was really surprised Utah scored and Minnesota they scored over 70 points in the fourth quarter. It happens, just the way it goes sometimes. All right, let's go ahead and jump into today. Don't forget to check out SBR for all the numbers, odds, totals, sportsbook sign-up bonuses, things like that. We got all the sports books there, and let's dive right in. Okay, here we go. We got first one up, Los Angeles Clippers and Brooklyn. Oddsmakers have it at 217. I'm going to go over this total, and the Clippers I think are going to light it up. They completely destroyed Brooklyn last time they played in LA, scoring over 120. And the last few games we've seen from Brooklyn, they've allowed 122, 118, 111, 129. I mean, they're just giving up points. 124. I mean, they're giving up points crazy, even at home. And I think the Clippers, who've only scored 97 and 70 points in their last 2 games, are desperate to go ahead and get out and run and score a lot of points. And that's what I think we're going to see tonight. We got and Brooklyn can score as well. They can shoot the 3. Well, they love to shoot the 3, that's for sure. The Clippers are averaging 107.8 points per game. Brooklyn's averaging 104.9, but Brooklyn's giving up 114 points per game. That ranks last in the league. Clippers have been struggling a little bit lately. Well, they've lost 2 in a row, so I think they're going to break out tonight. They've been allowing 97.4 points. That ranks 5th in the league. They were ranking 1st in the league for a while. Then we got some shooting percentages here. I mean, the Clippers, they shoot 46.5% from the floor. That ranks 4th in the league. And Brooklyn, statistically across the board, they're in the bottom 3 from opponent shooting efficiency to opponent effective field goal percentage. They're going to give up points. Pace, the Clippers don't go really fast at just 81.6 attempts per game, but Brooklyn allows 91. That's last in the league. So I think the Clippers, after losing 2, they're going to be happy to get out and run and score a lot of points. And Brooklyn, they'll shoot the 3. They average 34.4 3-point attempts per game. That ranks 3rd in the league, and they knock down 11.4 of those, which ranks 4th. At home, I mean, they should be able to score enough to help get us over this 217, because I think the Clippers are going to score probably about 120. And I'd like to think that Brooklyn could score over 100 points. I think they're going to be able to do that. So I'm going to back over the total. It's a big total at 217, but I think they get there tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and back over the total with the Clippers and the Nets. Next one we have up is, I think, an underrated defensive battle here. We got Cleveland, Milwaukee, 212.5 set by oddsmakers. I'm going to go under. Cleveland, we already know how good they are. Right now they're on a 4-game winning streak. They're averaging 112 points per game, but also they're only giving up 102.8. That's pretty good. Milwaukee, surprisingly, defensively, have been good this year. They're averaging 101.7 points per game, and they're allowing 102.3. That's good for them. They weren't very good last year, and they allowed a lot of tempo. A lot of good matchups here. Now, you got Cleveland. They're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the game. Statistically, they're shooting over 39% from distance. But Milwaukee, they rank 1st in the league in defensive 3-point shooting percentage, allowing opponents to shoot just 31.3%. That's really good. Good for Jason Kidd. Also, right now, Milwaukee's allowing just 43.4% from the floor. That ranks 6th in the league defensively. We know Cleveland, they want to push some tempo, and they're going to want to shoot the 3 and get out, but they're actually a pretty good defensive team as well. And Milwaukee's not going really fast. I mean, they're only averaging 85.7 attempts per game. That ranks right in the middle of the league. Last season, and they're allowing just 85 attempts per game. That ranks 13th. But last season wasn't like that. They were really up and down. So I like for Milwaukee to be pretty scrappy against Cleveland, play some good D. They're pretty athletic, that Milwaukee team. They're pretty long, and I think if they can get out and defend the perimeter like they have been, I think that this game should stay under. They're going to score some points, but I don't think they're going to get to 212, not to 212.5. So I'm going to go under that total. All right, so we got Cleveland, Milwaukee under. And finally, last one, we got Houston and Utah. 202.5 set by odds makers. I'm going to go under that total. You got Utah coming off a back-to-back. They scored with Minnesota over 70 points in the fourth quarter. I thought that was kind of crazy, but at the end, you got Houston really efficient, but they don't push a lot of tempo. They're averaging 109.8 points per game. Utah, 96.6. Well, that's going to go up. These are yesterday's averages. Utah still across the board. They rank as one of the best defensive teams in the league from opponent shooting percentage to opponent shooting efficiency. They're number 1. because they go at a really slow pace. They don't allow a lot of tempo. Houston's not going particularly fast. They're only averaging 84.8 points per game. Attempts per game. They're 21st in the league, but they're just so efficient. But Utah, I think, matches up with them well. So for Utah to hang in this game, I think they're going to ratchet things down on the defensive end. Houston, of course, are giving up 105.5 points per game. They're not really good defensively because that's Mike D'Antoni. They're going to try and score and be efficient. Really conflicting styles here. You got, Houston. Well, not this isn't conflicting so much. But those areas, I mean, conflicting. What we have is that Houston is shooting 53.9% from the floor. That ranks second in the league, but Utah ranks first in the league, allowing opponents just 45.1% from the interior extended. So that's going to be a great matchup tonight. And another reason I think the under is going to hit in this one, I just don't think they're going to really get up and down, even though Utah is coming off a back-to-back. But Utah, they get up to 78.7 attempts per game. They didn't get that many up, actually, versus Minnesota. They only got up, I think, 79 or 80 attempts. It wasn't, but they shot lights out, and that last quarter was ridiculous. Houston, they're allowing just 84.6 attempts per game. That's not super fast. So, although Houston, they've had a couple quick games here recently with Sacramento and Portland, I think things are going to be different tonight. Last time they played Utah to a 111-102 final. That was in Houston. I think it's going to be different tonight, though. And I think that's why odds makers have the total much, much lower than that at 202.5. Quick recap. There's our NBA totals for today. Los Angeles Clippers and Brooklyn over 217, Cleveland, Milwaukee under 212.5, and Houston, Utah under 202.5. And please be sure to check out SBR, and I wish you luck on your picks today.